What is it like portraying Diamond?
I think, it's a lot of work to portray Diamond, but it's also has some simplicity to it because I know Diamond.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Did you have fun playing?
At times.
Yeah.
At times I didn't. It's work. It's intentional effort, but it's work. Putting your body through that, the training, dealing with the mental part of it more than anything. Athletes go through some of the outside looking in. You say, "Oh, okay, LeBron's not playing, he's hurt." LeBron's going through mentally like, dang, people think I'm bluffing. They think I'm not. Imagine that as a kid that's in 17, 18 in high school or even in college, like you're hurt, but are you really hurt?
Yeah.
Is the coach now the coach you gonna lose your position? Why the coach didn't speak to me today? You know what I'm saying? Like all these different mental things that go along with the journey is crazy, and that's why everybody can't make it. It's not meant for everybody.
Right.
So it's about, can you sustain all of those things, and then also by the grace of the God, can you just make it?
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people make it because the person in front of them got hurt.
Right.
You know what I mean? The whole Tom Brady.
Exactly.
I mean, that story is one. So, I think that it was just, adaptability, sustaining, but all the things you named come into play.
Yeah.
It's like anything in life. How quick can you learn from the lessons that are happening? Your failures or whatever lessons, how quick can you learn? Because that's the person that's going to be on the field, that's the person that's going to get the job.
That leads right into my next question as we transition out of football. What are some of the most valuable, or maybe just you choose one, most valuable lesson you learned throughout your journey in the NFL? And things you wish you had known before you started?
I think one of the most valuable lessons is that no matter how bad you want it, doesn't mean you're going to receive it. In the NFL, I wanted it so bad. I wanted to be able to play, and I worked so hard for it. But I feel like I never received it. Even though I was there, I feel like I never received it. Because I would get told certain situations that I'm better than the person that's in front of me. I would get told that, we should be playing, but we drafted him. I would literally pray on my hands and knees and I'm like, God, why did you allow me to get here if you're not really giving it to me? I learned early on in college, sacrifice no guarantee.
Mm-hmm.
But to work so hard for something and feel like you never receive it, that's a whole nother thing that you have to deal with. To this day, I'm still working on releasing that.
Yeah.
And that's why the book helped. It's therapy to release it, because I was holding on to all these things from football of like, okay, I'm there, I'm in the plan, but all I want to do was make a good amount of money so I could buy a cul-de-sac and put my parents and me and have houses around and do right with my money.
Right.
But that didn't happen.
Right.
And so when you want something so bad, but you don't always receive it, so then what you gonna do?
How did you feel the void after football? After you left football, how did you feel that void?
It took a long time. That was a major pot to fill that void.
Yeah.
That void pot is something crazy, and I always say that when I talk to individuals who would play or somebody that is just dealing in a relationship with somebody playing, if they don't leave on their terms, and even if they do, it's going to take that person a few years to find their new self.
Yeah.
And that's for anybody. When you retire from something,
right,
you're trying to find your new self.
That's right.
What's your new identity? What am I supposed to do now? Especially when you do it for so long, the passion that you put into it, the work you put into it is so strong that it's like, how do I feel that same way in something else? And if I don't feel that same way in something else, then now I feel inadequate. Now I feel unfulfilled. So now I feel like I'm just no good to anybody.
Absolutely.
And you sit there, and that's where depression can set in. That's where mental health started to set in. So I went through all that before I knew anything about mental health. Before I knew about depression, because all I knew was suppress it, go work, use it in your work.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? That's why we always knew the person who was going through something at practice, because they was running around hitting everybody or doing something. You could tell
taking it out,
taking it out on everybody.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, he going through something.
Yeah, exactly.
You figured it out, So, that void pot was huge, man, and it took me a while to really try to. I had to try a bunch of different things because I didn't leave football on my terms.
Yeah.
I would say the phone. The phone just stopped ringing.
Right.
I just stopped playing football. Football stopped playing me.
Yeah.
And
my pastor calls it the NFL, not for long.
It's definitely, that's what NFL stands for, not for long.
So you mentioned a couple times, so you leaned on your faith a lot, I'm assuming. Yeah.
Yes, I leaned on my faith, and also, like anybody, I questioned it.
Yeah.
I started to question my faith. I started questioning my purpose.
Right.
And as a man, we need to have purpose.
Yeah.
We need to have a game plan, and we need to have purpose, goals set. And when you can set those goals, but when they keep feel like you just can't achieve them, then it becomes frustrating after a while. And I think leaving football was one of my darkest points in life.
Right. But you bounced out of that. And how did you get into acting? We're going to transition into that as we try to wrap it up a little bit. But I'm just,
I fell into acting just kind of on the humbug. It never was on the radar for me. It never was something that I was like, oh, I'm going to pursue acting. That's what I'm going to do. I fell into it because honestly, at some point when I was around some other actors who were doing their thing and were known, I was like, wow, I like the attention they getting.
Yeah, exactly.
Real talk. You know what I mean? I never knew about theater like that. I took one acting class in high school. I wasn't a thespian. I wasn't, looking forward to doing commercials, but I had learned when I did something in front of the camera, started out in front of the camera, did like a hosting, and most people weren't like a segment. It was actually called Off Season, and it was like a segment of just other athletes, like the Cardinals at the time, chose doing a segment what they were doing off season, like extravagant things they doing off season.
Okay.
Well, I was the only one to host my segment, and it just felt natural. Hey, I'm Isaac Keys here. I'm here at Scottsdale Hotel. I'm here with Chef such and such. Right now, we're going to check out this, this new dish that he's prepared. Hey, Chef, what we got going on here? It just came natural in a sense.
Okay.
And the guys was like, hey, you seem very natural in front of the camera. I was like, I thought everybody was. Why wouldn't it be?
Just being yourself. Yeah.
Just being myself. And, I didn't really see the camera. I just saw us just, having a conversation. But that just led me. But when I say that and talk about darkest place, I always mention all the time, like, acting probably saved my life.
You talk about that. You said it was an emotional outlet.
It's definitely an emotional outlet. And I tell anyone they should take an acting class. We walk around, we probably act more in life than we do on camera.
That's true.
As an actor, you probably have to act and put on for other people more in regular life than you do in front of camera.
That's deep, yeah.
I started learning to realize that, I may not feel like doing an interview. I may not feel like doing the podcast or something at the moment. What? We got to put the smile on, go on there and do your thing.
Well, I'm grateful you felt like it today, man.
I felt like it today, for sure. So I tell anybody, because acting will allow you to learn yourself and open up.
Yeah.
You're in a safe place where you're going to do some silly things that your counterparts, your friends will laugh at you in normal society.
Yeah.
But now you're in this acting class with other people that are doing the same thing. So now you're opening up and you start learning. So you're able to be your true self and really unfold, let go of your inhibitions and unfold who you are now and feel like, wow. And it's so liberating. Yeah. So liberating. Take the acting class. Anybody out there, take the acting class.
All right, I got to do that. Now, not all of you going to get in Hollywood, but take the acting class.
Take the acting class. Hollywood ain't all it's cracked up to be, but take the acting class.
What is it like portraying Diamond?
I think, it's a lot of work to portray Diamond, but it's also has some simplicity to it because I know Diamond. Diamond lives in me already in my life. So when I started to learn who Diamond was partially me, just substituted in different aspects.
Okay.
Diamond was trying to transition, meaning that he was trying to make a move from being a different type of person.
Yeah.
I've been through that many times. of transitioning, whether from football to what's the next thing to do, or things being alluring from doing street activity to no, don't do that, to being able to have personality and charm, to be able to get out of trouble, or just to be able to build relationships.
Okay, yeah.
Diamond was in a place where, he had to change. He wanted to change. And, he wanted to change for the better. He saw something different. He saw something greater. But was Diamond really making the changes to do so? Or was he allowing himself to be around the same people, the same activities, the same things?
Yeah.
That would just bring him right back in to what I call his default.
Now, I'm not going to let you answer that question because there's some people out there who have never seen the show and need to go.
Shame on you.
Exactly. If you don't go see it, I mean, I fell in love with it from the very beginning.
Yeah.
I think you played an excellent role in your character.
Thank you.
I got to say this, Tommy.
Uh-huh.
It was Joseph
Secor.
Secor. It is so difficult to see him right now. I think I'm watching him. He's in Reasonable Doubt.
Yeah.
And I'm waiting for any minute for him to snap.
Exactly. He's doing a great job.
He is doing
job in that, and I'm so happy for him to be able to break out from the Tommy character to be able to play this other character in Reasonable Doubt, which was another amazing show with a great cast. But to see him be a lawyer, but still, when Tommy, you see him turn around, you see that one Tommy expression.
Exactly.
Like,
it's about to snap. It's about to snap.
I see the Tommy. But no, he's doing an amazing job being this character, and he honestly couldn't be. I've been really excited working with him. Like our cast and our crew for our show is like family. We go to set, we have fun, but we also challenge each other in our scenes, and I think it's what helps make the show.
Absolutely.
A great show. Because we go to these scenes, we challenge each other, the intensity, the back and forth, the banters, the chemistry is because we generally like each other and want the best for one each other. And then our crew, they just back there working their asses off, making sure everything is set up and done the way it needs to be. Writers' room is amazing, and directors. We have diverse directors. I feel like it's not many shows where we touch bases with so many different directors, men, women. All from aspect, anybody from the community as well. This is there, but we also keep it my best to keep it Chicago. A lot of local actors come in to make sure we keep it Chicago.
So I'm gonna have to move to Chicago then. Just kidding. Hey, what's next for Diamond, or what's next for Isaac in acting?
That's why I know I'm doing a good job with the character. When people say, "Hey, Diamond."
Yeah.
Right now, man, we're excited about the show getting ready to drop November 7th. But for me right now on the field, along with that, it's just, I poured my heart and soul and a deep dive in vulnerability in this book. This book I have coming out is called The Grind Don't Stop, It Just Changes. And as we talked here, it's the journey of my life through my stories that I feel like that are relatable. I feel like they are touching, and I feel like they are just stories that I feel like that as people from young adults all the way to adults, no matter, to the middle-aged white woman that's in Oklahoma, like we all have moments in our life where we have to pivot,
right?
Or we have certain situations or things we want something, we don't get it, or we thinking we have this coming and it doesn't, it's a place where I really just allow myself to tell these stories for me to be able to share, to help others and try to help inspire them. To be able to know that if they're stuck in any part of their life, that some of these things are normal. Some of the things that, not knowing is normal. But if they're stuck in life, maybe they can look at my stories to help them get unstuck or just have a better understanding of what they're going through.
I think that's excellent. I'm excited for the book to come out. Definitely going to read it. I encourage you guys all. It's coming out. When is it due?
So we plan on doing pre-sales November 4th. And if anybody's following me, check out social medias. Everything is Isaac Keys. And if you see that, you'll definitely be directed to where you can get the book. I'm excited about it. I'm nervous about it as well too, because I really dig deep into, as we talked about, from childhood all the way up to present day.
Yeah.
And that's just the story before the glory, and it's just like all the different things that, like I'm digging into the parts of things that we don't always discuss.
Yeah.
And it's very candid.
Well, I want to thank you for doing that, because I think more and more that needs to be done for you to be expose yourself so that it can help other people. I'm a true believer. When I first started, I saw something that said, when you share your story, you allow others to see that they're not alone.
Sure.
And I think that's exactly what it sounds like your book is going to do.
Yes.
I wanted to dig so much deeper, but I got to thinking, we can't go into the book. We can't do that. But I'm excited about that. As you move into the next chapter in your journey, I just know that it's going to just come out to be great.
Thank you.
We're about to close out, but I just got just like 3 little rapid, quick questions we're going to do.
Okay.
You probably already have one. But if you had a theme song, what would that song be?
Wow. That's tough. I had to make one.
You have to make your
I'll
own?
make my own thing, so it'd be called The Grind Don't Stop, It Just Changes.
All right, now you know somebody's about to send it to you.
Send it to me.
Somebody's going to do the
Grind Don't
beats.
Stop, It Just Changes. Yeah, we keep on going, yeah.
I think I'm gonna take a little bit of credit when that comes out. I didn't write it, produce it, but I encourage you.
Send it to me. Let me know. Somebody, let me hear the best song for that. Let's go.
What's the best advice that you've ever found or ever given?
One is control what you can control. It sounds easy, but it's hard because when you're passionate about something, you care about it, you want to be able to control it. But in a lot of things, you can't control everything. So control what you can control. One phrase that that sticks with me is called sacrifice with no guarantee. And we sacrifice
I like that. Yeah.
Sacrifice no guarantee is like how much you willing to sacrifice, even though you don't think you know you're gonna have a guarantee.
Yeah.
Are you willing to keep on sacrificing?
I think that's life.
That's life.
That's life.
Exactly, because there's no guarantee to it.
Isaac, this has been a pleasure. I was looking forward to this for a long time to sit down with you.
Me too.
I just want to thank you, thank your family and you guys for being here, and just just an amazing story. I encourage you to definitely go out and get the book. I think you're really going to learn something from it. And like you said, it doesn't matter if you're 88 to 16, 17, or even younger. If you can read the book, get the book. I think it's definitely an opportunity. You can learn something from it. He's exposing himself to you. Let's support him. Let's get out. We appreciate AKA Diamond, Isaac Keys. Go check him out. Continue to support him. Anything you need from me, you got it. So it's been my pleasure.
Hey, man, thank you, man. Keep on doing what you're doing, man. It's a great platform. Let's keep building. And everybody out there, make sure y'all check and do at Mike Unplugged. Make sure y'all get in.
All right.
Yeah.
Until next time, keep igniting your future.
1, 2, 3, 4.